Hey guys, and welcome to another brand new video. In this video, a little bit more brand new news on the PlayStation 5 Pro, the brand new issues with the PS4 image enhancement, and the fact that now people are kind of calling it out on the fact that the PlayStation 5 Pro may have actually kind of still been a little bit of a miss site. Now, this is kind of a weird kind of just, I guess, vibe. I was gonna say conversation, but the overall just generality of it, it's a bit on the weirder side. Now, we had a chance to go talk about the PS5 Pro, and I do think there's been a lot of big wins. I do think the console's dope. I like mine. I have not regretted it, and I do want to always preface this because it is a little bit of hey, this is a big issue or problem or things we want to see adjusted, or at least outside perspectives of people kind of judging the console itself as a whole. But once again, I'm happy with mine. I haven't been too affected by it. Just want to preemptively go and say that. And if you guys have had a chance to get your console too as well, you guys can always let me your thoughts and comments down below. But it's kind of weird because now we're seeing another big step. We've kind of been seeing a stepping stone right this second of how people are kind of judging and perceiving the PlayStation 5 Pro, how the Pssr technology, which is meant to be that big push for the consoles themselves, have kind of been, well, I guess, underselling, and well, the fact that people are kind of critiquing this stuff as a whole. So we're going to talk about this throughout this video, so if you guys will sit back, relax, enjoy, subscribe if you guys are new for the PS5 Pro giveaway, gaming news, and all that good stuff. We'll have the bonus YouTube second account with the Twitter, Twitch down below, all that good stuff, and of course the affiliate links do as well. And I appreciate you guys all so much for watching. Let's go and dive on into it because, well, apparently the PS4 image enhancement is now being called on out, another half-baked feature just to go and try to sell the PS5 Pro. Now, if you guys don't know, and I'll probably go a little bit more in depth in a second, but the high level, if you guys don't know, the Pssr has had a little bit of a shoddy reception now that people are seeing this on third-party games. Good examples, we've had a chance to see other articles and people talk about this stuff, and we've kind of even shown this on, say, our videos, where they have this really weird glisten. As you guys look at the gameplay itself, and we're seeing these weird, the AI is just not able to fully comprehend it. They're trying to make it the best it can, but water effects, lighting effects, just random stuff, as you guys can see on the screen as a whole, have kind of made things seem a little bit on the shoddier side. It just doesn't work out 100%. And some games are golden, they're crispy, especially PlayStation Studio games, and then some games out there on third party, such as Square Enix or Bloober Team or whatever, as we've been covering on the channel itself, have been mostly getting a little bit of a skeptical response. We've kind of touched it throughout the past week since the Pro has come on out, but right now we're now seeing this next level. Or in the very similar vein, as you guys can probably see over here, is that utilizing this AI, the upscaling, and basically trying to fine-tune up the console itself with the, say, PS4 integration on the PS5 Pro is still having some issues, and people are kind of calling on out. Now, I do want to say before we get in the nitty-gritty once again, this is fixable, this is changeable, and of course, this AI integration is all brand new. Some things are still expecting patches, some things are being adjusted on it. We've also even had some of the bigger companies out there make comments stating that they want to work on it and adjust on it, and all that type of stuff. We may even have a follow-up on that too, because it's not for every company out there, but some are trying to go and put in their work. They want to make sure it's all good. So obviously right now people are kind of using the next level because the PS4 image enhancement was meant to also utilize the Pssr. And although they did kind of give a little bit of a warning, we covered the warning a few days ago when it first came out. We saw the leaks for it. So in their defense, they kind of covered up a little bit, but even then still, the PS4 image enhancement is apparently another half-baked feature to try to go and sell the PS5 Pro. So the PS4 image enhancement does nothing but sharpen image and should have been standard with the base PS5 console. So their high levels of this is the PS5 Pro comes with the PS4 image enhancement, which I still think is a good feature, high level of this, and the feature that enhances the last-gen games for better, clearer results. It apparently, though, distorts the image quality, interferes with the post-processing effects, and emphasizes issues like TAA, and while the feature works for older games, it doesn't justify the PS5 Pro's $700 price tag, kind of basically in the story's vibe saying it's not really worth it. So Sony hasn't had a chance to go catch the PS5 Pro since it's revealed. I think it's been good vibes, although there has been a lot of skepticism. Price point, not having the disk drive attached, the random stands involved, this random Pssr drama that we've been discovering on the channel itself, and now they're saying with the console fully available with consumers, it's worse than we ever expected. Not with the terms of its power, but also in terms of its half-baked exclusive features that are excuses to sell the console. Now, once again, I think a lot of people I know have gotten the console, they're happy with it. I got my console, I'm happy with it. It's a small improvement of it. Some people are doing trade-ins too as well to go get it. It's not the biggest change up. It's fine. I think a lot of this stuff once again can be kind of changed up, fixed up, edited on in. It's not the biggest deal. So saying aside from the Pssr, one of the worst image upscaling options, as they're saying, I think it's still cool, but we've been seeing these issues and need to be fixed for sure. The PS5 Pro has another major feature intended only for last-gen games, and then Sony's new image enhancement feature is somewhat complicated, and they're saying for this, on their perspective, I'm kind of like trying to my reaction on it. They're saying Sony didn't reveal much about the PS4 image enhancement feature before we get our hands on the console, which is actually true. Like just were kind of randomly popped on up for the early access of the consoles. So consumers need to realize the downsides and upsides of the PS4 image enhancement before they buy this. So I do want to go and say, like, what does it do? I want to say it does improve the image quality of the PS4 games to enjoy higher quality gameplay out for some games. Turn this off if you experience unexpected behavior during gameplay. So they do already state this, like there's a chance things might not be perfect, which I think is okay. Like I think that's totally fine. I think that's totally okay. But at the end of the day, like it should be working. But once again, they did give a warning. I want to give them some free pass. Saying judging by the looks and the way that the PS4 image enhancement works, we can conclude that the feature is somewhat of a post-processing filter. The PS4 image enhancement is a smart upscale that refines jagged edges and makes the final image more crisp, resulting in apparently better quality of what they assume. Basically, the AI is meant to make things look nicer and look better. With the PS4 image enhancement, everything from the rendered footage, cutscenes, and even the UI is being upscaled to higher resolutions. Older PS4 games running in 1080p seem to benefit the most, largely from this feature. Basically, I've kind of covered this before in the Pssr technology, is let's say you have like a 720p game, the baseline graphics that are being upscaled or using AI to go like kind of fill in the blanks are not as good. Because it's kind of like trying to go and copy paste a rock. Like the higher the definition the rock is, the better the copy paste will look. But if you have a random just gray rock with no extra details or cracks or lines or colors or shading or whatever it might be, it's just going to be a basic gray rock. So if you have that same mindset of like a 720p game versus a 1080p game, the 1080p can actually go because the baseline standard is able to be like kind of copy paste a lot better. So games like Dragon Age Inquisition, The Order 1886, and Near Replicant look phenomenal with the image upscale. So it's not like that every game looks bad, but some can, and that's the bigger issue here. And they say they don't really notice noticeable graphical downgrades after playing current gen games as well, but it does have some issues over here too. So saying, although, all said though, the PS4 image enhancement does fall short though on quite a few aspects. First and foremost, the feature only works well for games rendered at a 1080p resolution. Anything higher than that, you won't see any difference. So once again, if it has like a lower end resolution side, you're not going to see much changes, but that kind of goes in the baseline expectations of like, hey, if it's like I said, if it's not as good at the start, it's hard to upscale it and kind of fill in the blanks if it's not really there. Now as well, they're also saying with the mode turned on, some games seem to be affected in the performance department, apparently, with some FPS actually dropping, and as well because they have to utilize the AI, the ray tracing. Maybe the AI is just almost bottlenecking itself. They're also saying, secondly, since this is a post-processing effect, we can conclude that it has its own issues or enhances other issues as well. They've said that they already talked in detail on the other various vibes where the TAA really messes up video games too, but basically kind of just shows that once again, it's just not being efficient. It's not being golden, you know? So the PS4 image enhancement has the same problem, but this time around it emphasizes it much more, and then Alias games with crisper image quality look worse than the original, and they're saying, in their opinion, basically saying that just the baseline PS4 utilizing this AI, unless it's really goated already, like very good at the top level, it's not going to really probably do that much. And it's not going to change up too much, and that's why it's a little bit finicky, because we're seeing these issues now with the Pssr technology. They're saying, so other than that, the PS4 image enhancement also interferes with the post-processing effects, such as film grain, lightning, and others, and this feature will result in a distorted image quality. We've been seeing these distorted image qualities too, as well as we saw with just the PS5 Pro and Pssr. So they're saying, don't get me wrong there too, which is a big thing, saying that slightly upscaled and better image quality doesn't hurt despite the drawbacks. Basically still saying like it's still good, it's still worth having, it's a vibe. And they're saying the lack of aliasing brings out the jagged edges and makes them more prominent for their liking, and as well it also can ruin some 2D art style. So stylistically, if it's more basic, can kind of ruin it because AI and this upscaling doesn't know how to do it well. Or at the same time, if it's like a 720 base game, it doesn't necessarily upscale as good because the baseline quality is not good enough to upscale well, if that makes sense. If just the core quality is not that good. So they're saying the feature should already be standard with the PS5 Pro base model, the normal base model. And they're saying this is surprising considering that Xbox already has these similar features where it natively is upscaling games from past generations with all these better improved textures, kind of thing like a PC. Like, assume like it's just more of a PC, you're just doing upgrades, and like you made the resolution and the graphic quality a little bit better from like a medium to high, whatever. So they're kind of saying that at the end of the day, it still is an issue. And I do kind of agree. Like, I do think they need to go and fine tune up this Pssr, but I've always had the logic of like, hey, it's going to get better over time. Like, the more machine learning they have, the better. The more AI learning, the better. But I do want to say, like, the fact that the PS4 is having issues, these other various games I've talked about throughout the past few weeks, it does kind of go and leave a little things to, I guess, the imagination at the end of the day. So I want to hear your thoughts and comments all this down below and kind of look at the pictures, because there are some things that aren't really as nice as we'd expect, and I think they should do a little bit more. So make sure you guys are subscribed here for the PS5 Pro giveaway, second YouTube channel, all the other various links, the Twitters and all that stuff down below, and the affiliate links to pick up your own console if you guys still want one. I'm still happy with mine, but it's always kind of nice to know on the news at the end of the day. So I appreciate you guys all for watching. Talk to you guys soon.